Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 25-point game of Nemo1 up against pSkarre1. So this is another practice game for the tournament I'm going to be running in 2 weeks here. I'm just the fill-in guy, so there is a chance I could be playing if there's an odd number of people. If I do, this will be one of my lists, so only 3 models in 25 points, which is Nemo1, the Stormwall, and then Thunderhead. My brother is also trying out one of his tournament maybe lists, and so this is with pSkarre. He has the Reaper, the Bane thralls on the left side. I think they're Stitch thralls, whatever that little cheap unit is. He has the Scarlock, and then all the Stittrix, whatever they're called, and the Solo on the right side there. The mission is the one where it's pretty much like an ammo dump in the middle, so if you control it, you can be throwing blasts. But if you do control it, that'll give you 1 control point. You can also get points by controlling your opponent's zone, and first one of 3 wins. So here we go, and right off the bat, I was starting to kick myself for my deployment. One thing that kind of suck about the big Colossals is the fact that even though they can move over a terrain and stuff no problem, is you can't leave them standing on a wall or something. So with all this debris in the center here, I just kind of looked at it and figured I'd have to go swing around the left side of this tower. And it wasn't until after I deployed and my brother started deploying his army that I realized I could go between the building and that one little stand-up piece that's close to me here, basically where the Thunderhead is. So not like in my deployment, but really the whole idea here is just to rush up the Thunderhead when it's right, zap all his guys, shoot down his stuff with the Stormwall. Of course, I can always give it up to 5 focus, so I can really use it to shoot something down, and we'll see how it goes. So he has first turn, and he's just rushing right up there, and I mean, at the speed he's going after my zone, that's really worrying me. And already, like I was saying, if only my one Colossal would have been closer, then I could use that covering fire to kind of keep him out of the zone. But yeah, it's now going to be an issue, and I have to hope that my Thunderhead can clear them out. My turn then. The other thing I have to make sure he's not going to be scoring off the objective as well. So I use locomotion to move up a little bit and shoot at the main objective there in the center, and it's down to 3 boxes already. So that's pretty good news. His turn then, he moves up, and he's basically just trying to make sure that if I do try to move up, I can't get too far and zap too many. Of course, what I'm going to do is use chain lightning to kind of clear this up, but that's really what he's trying to do. And meanwhile, his Banes are hoping, I guess, to be set up to be countering my Stormwall there. And of course, yeah, they get to my Stormwall, they will cut me to pieces, so I have to be very careful. So then on my turn, that's exactly what I do. I do a couple of chain lightnings, then I move up the Thunderhead, zap, and right now, I mean, those Raiders are almost all gone. Yeah, and so that's looking pretty fantastic. I've also popped my feet so that his Reaper can't be given any focus, and I've also destroyed the main objective there. So at this point, it's looking okay. I don't like how my Stormwall is so far over, but it's okay. His turn then, I mean, one of my things I can do with Nemo1 is if you cast a spell within my range, that I can then get a focus from that. So he's trying to be kind of careful not to cast any spells he doesn't need to. And what he's trying to do here is just trying to do the whole feedback. So if he hits my one Jack and does damage, I get a wound on Nemo. So he does a couple that way. My Thunderhead is really messed up. Of course, I mean, what he can do is be killing these little Stitch thralls, whatever they are, and he gets all this extra focus. But the main thing is basically at this point, he has 1 control point, and my Thunderhead is a real mess. My turn 3 then, and really, I just try and use some chain lightning to try and clear this up a little bit. Wheel around the Thunderhead just to get a toe in the zone so he doesn't get another control point, and then the Stormwall is just running around to try and get into a good position here. Basically being where he should have been the very start of the turn, of the whole game. His turn 4, he destroys my Thunderhead, gets another control point, and then throws a few things at the Stormwall and does a respectable amount of damage. And then on my turn, again, Chain Lightning, just ripping up what he has here, and then really my Stormwall is just running into the zone to make sure I can test. And at this point, it's either you have to destroy my Stormwall, or else you're doomed. and he destroys it. So, yeah, I mean, he'd already popped his feet before, back when he had destroyed my Thunderhead, so that's not what happened here. But it's just, he gets in there with these Banes, he brings me down 2 armor anyway, and then just all the damage they do, and then anything that any other Jack does after that, of course, I'm still minus 2 armor, and it's just, I mean, you got Scar that can boost damage just by taking a point of damage. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I was thrashed pretty bad. Stormwall goes down, he gets his 3rd control point, and he wins the game. So, victory to Scar, and the thing that was pretty interesting here is just the fact that you had 3 models up against a whole army, and, my brother didn't think that it'd be that hard for him to win. I mean, the way that worked out, it was kind of easy because of the whole scenario thing, but really his guys went down so quickly between the Chain Lightning and the Thunderhead. And that's one thing I like about this list is I have a good amount of anti-infantry. Of course, the biggest thing that killed me is just that bad deployment, having the storm wall on the wrong side of the board just because I didn't really think he'd be able to fit in the first place, when in fact it turned out he could. And that could have changed a lot. But again, if I would have had him here, then his Banes would have been over here as well, and being swarmed by them and the Raiders at the same time could have been very problematic. But either way, there you have it. It was a neat game, and we'll see if he changes his list for the tournament. So thanks for watching. Bye.